Now that we're finished with all the crocheting and sewing and all of the gluing, we're ready for the fun part, and it's adding the lights. Here I have these twinkle lights, and if you turn them on, they're different colors. For some reason, I thought there was going to be pink, but I guess it's this red color. But the box looks like it's pink. That looks pink to me, but... And then here we have the stars. I really like these stars. They're nice and bright, and the battery pack is really small compared to the 2 AA battery pack for the multicolored lights. But I like that both of them have the silver wire rather than the green wire that you can find on many Christmas lights right now. For this project, we're just going to use the star lights. So we're going to start with the star-shaped lights, and I'm going to start in the back. So I'm going to turn the kitty around and start in the back. But you can also just do the lights in the front if you want to, but I'm going to do them all the way around. So I'm going to start in the back, and we're going to go underneath the dress here. And we're going to go in between the 2 double crochets. So here is the double crochet. Let's just pick one here. And you want to kind of make a hole with your finger and then stick the light through it. It's a little bit difficult at first, but once you get like 2 points into the stitch, then it should be easy to get it out in the front. So here's the 1 point, and then if we push it a little bit through, we have the 2 points, and we should be able to pull it through. And there is our star, and let me turn it on so you could see it. So our star is through the dress, and you're going to keep continuing putting them between the 2 double crochets throughout the dress. So here I have 1, and I'm going to skip like maybe 8 of the stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So it would be on the side here. I can count them from the back too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then place it in here. So I have the 2 points out on the other side, and then it should be easy to pull it out. And there is our second, and then just keep doing this from the inside. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can choose however many stitches you want to go through. And it doesn't have to be all accurate inside because they're kind of like floating stars. And we're just going to continue putting them around on this row, and then we'll go into the dress. So here I finished the top layer with the stars. I could have probably added more, but for now, that's how I'll just leave it. So I used 5 stars on this top level here, and so my strand is 25 stars. So I have to think about where I'm going to place the rest of the stars since there's only 20 left, unless if I use another strand to put more stars on, which I might do. But for now we have 20 stars left, so we could do like 2 in the middle of each one. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and then we'd have 16. So we used 16 stars, and we'd have 4 left over where we can just place them on the bottom, or you can do it a different way. But for now, I'm just going to do maybe 2 between each of the stars. So then I know I'll have enough stars to light up the skirt. I ended up here, right up here with the last star. So I'm going to start here for the stars on the skirt. So I'm going to put one here, and this makes it a lot easier when there's triple crochets because they're a lot taller, so you can easily stick the stars in, and if you change your mind, you can just take it right out. So let's say we start here with our first star, and then another star. Maybe I'll just put it in the second row. So maybe like this, and then just make it go down. But I can always change it. And it might be even easier if we just have it turned on, so we can see how it looks turned on. So if I change my mind and I don't want this here, and maybe I want it here, it's just a real quick switch up. So you can decide to change them after you have them all on even. So, you know, just place the stars where they look good. And they don't have to be in any kind of order. They could just be all scattered, however you want them to look. So we're going to finish this and see how it looks. Once you like where all of your stars are placed, you can just bend the wire on the back so that it stays in place. So just kind of flatten it out around the stars, and then it'll stay better in place. Otherwise, they tend to pop out a little. So just bend the wire right by the star. And so basically we're done with our Hello Kitty light up angel. And if you want to add another strand of the stars, you can put some in the crown. And here are the angel wings. And if we want to add one of these wands, this is a fiber optic wand. And this one, it's pretty, I don't know, pretty cheap and cheesy. This was from Halloween, but they also sell them in the party sections at a lot of stores. And you can add one of these in the back. So right between the wings. Took a little force to get this in, but it got it in through those double crochets. And I'm going to stick it all the way in so that it's barely showing here. And then we could turn these on. So then you have the back, and you can see the fiber optics, and then the front, and you can see them above her crown. And so it also flashes through the skirt, which it's hard to see in the light, but you can also see it flash through the skirt. Let's see, with the lights on. So it makes it a little bit more colorful. And you can also put those other lights in, the different colored lights, to make it even more colorful if you like it colorful, or you can just leave it like this. And now we're going to work on the cone. Now we're going to make the cone for our Hello Kitty. We have a piece of cardstock paper. You can also use poster board and that'll make it stronger. And I have a wire here, and from this loop that I put at the end and this loop that's at the other end, it measures 11.5 inches. So I'm going to place one of the loops at the end, at the corner here, with a darning needle, and that'll hold it as our base. And then I'm going to use a pen at the other loop. So one loop will have our darning needle and the other loop will have this pen. And I'm going to take the pen and draw the line. So that makes an arch. It's kind of like making a gigantic compass so that you can draw the line. And then I'm going to cut our cone shape. So here we have the shape cut, and it should measure 11.5 inches on both sides. And now we're going to get the item that we're going to use to place the Hello Kitty on. This is the little turntable that I use, and so I want the base to be this size. So I'm going to take the cone and place it on top, making it round on the bottom. And once it sits flat and it's the size that you'd like and it fits how you like on the item, so like right around here, we're going to tape it. So I'm going to get a very sticky piece of tape and place it on the end. So here we have our tape, and we're just going to tape it right at the end of the shape, our cone shape. So then we're going to place it on our turntable and make it into a cone that stands straight. Okay, so like around here. So that looks like it's standing pretty good. And then I taped it. And if it's not quite even as you like, you can, shape it even more. And then tape it again on the seam. So here we have another piece of tape. We're going to tape it on the seam here. And as long as it's flat, because we want our kitty to be straight, then we're okay. So this is pretty good. And if you want to hot glue it, you can do that. And we're also going to tape the inside here. So now I have this cone taped up and it fits on here. So here we have our Hello Kitty, and we're going to find the largest part of her body and measure that part so that it could go inside the cone. So here we have a measuring tape, and we're going to measure the size. So this is about 8.5 inches. So we're going to make a ring 8.5 inches. And so here I have a ring that measures 8.5 inches around. And then here's the cone. And I'm going to place it on top of the cone here. And then I'm going to mark it right at the bottom of the ring. So here. And we're just going to go around the cone, marking the ring. So once we mark the ring around the cone, we're going to cut it. So you can either cut it straight down or just, cut the top here. And then cut it towards the cut line to be neater. And then cut it around. So once we have it cut, we can add more tape around. We have our cone reinforced with the tape on top, and now we're ready to get our kitty. So here is the kitty, and we're going to place her inside the cone. And once she's inside the cone, you can see the cone inside, and it goes up to the top level of the dress, and she stands straight. And once we're finished with the cone, we can place her on the platform. And now we're finished with our Hello Kitty light up angel. And this is how she looks with all of her lights and in the dark. And this is her spinning on the turntable. To use our Hello Kitty as a tree topper, get a thick gauge wire and make it into a spiral shape. You can make the bottom bigger if you'd like, but this has to be able to fit onto her body, the top one. So you might have to make it a little bit wider on the bottom and then just stick it onto her body. And then you would place that top stem between the wire and her body, and she should be able to rest on top of the tree. And this concludes our tutorial on making the Hello Kitty light up angel. I hope you'll be able to make this. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. As always, I want to thank you for watching our videos. I know that they're kind of long. If you find them useful, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that thumbs up button to like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so you know when our next tutorial is out. Have a wonderful day.